In this demonstration, we'll take a look at starting up a Juniper device. Now, I've already shut down the device itself, and you can see here that it says press any key to reboot. So that's what I'm going to do, but typically what would happen is you'd either, you typically plug the device in, so you'd give it power, and it would invoke the power on process. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to hit the space bar, and you'll see that it's starting to reboot the device. So upon the reboot, it wants to know if we want to update the BIOS. I press the spacebar if we want to update the BIOS. I don't want to do that. You can see the BIOS information. It was an AMI BIOS. Now it's trying to boot from flash memory. You can see the FreeBSD kind of info there. So it is a Linux kernel that's installed on the device itself. Then it starts giving a list of all the different ports that exist. Does a check on the file system. And now it's loading the configuration data for the device itself. So once the device is completed starting up, it'll ask you to log in. So here I type in my username and password. So I'm using root with my password for my device. And you can see here that it's the Junos OS 7.4 R1.7. Now you'll also notice that I'm logged in as root at the device, so the New York R1 device, but notice that I don't have my greater than sign, I don't have the pound symbol that we typically see when you're managing the Juniper device itself. And the reason being is I'm kind of within that Linux shell, so I need to go into the command line interface. So once you booted the device up, you type in CLI to go into the command line interface of the Juniper device. Now I have that greater than sign, so I'm in operational mode for the device itself, and I can start looking at the configuration. If I want to make changes to the configuration, then I have to type the configure command or the edit command, one or the two. I use edit a lot just because it's shorter, but I use the configure command to go into configuration mode. And notice that configuration mode shows kind of where you are in the configuration hierarchy. So I have the edit with square brackets there, and then also it shows us that I am in configuration mode because of that pound symbol. So that means I am able to make changes here. Once you're in configuration mode, if you want to go back to operational mode, then you can do an exit, and that'll take you back to operational mode. Notice that my prompt has changed, and it's the greater than sign. So as a Juniper administrator, you're constantly jumping between operational mode and configuration mode with either the configure command and exit out, or the edit command to go into configuration mode and then exit to get back. So in this demonstration, we saw how to start up the Juniper device.